According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, meritocracy is defined as a system, organization, or society in which people are chosen and move into positions of success, power, and influence based on their demonstrated abilities and merit. In an ideal society, people are chosen based on their talents and abilities. Their merit outweighs their socioeconomic, race, and class status. The American dream, the ethos of what it means to be a true American, follows this idea meticulously. The ethos has invaded every household. Children are graded on their abilities to study and score high, instead of their qualities of character. At a young age, children are tested for their giftedness in order to be separated from their peers. These children may come from disadvantaged backgrounds such as first generation, disabled, minority, or poor. They are told to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and never quit because the worst thing you can be is a quitter. Through standardized tests, children find out early on in their lives whether to succeed later on in their lives. However, America's meritocratic beliefs have started to wither away and warped by the realities of society. In essence, meritocracy does not exist in America, as some may believe. How could this system exist if the marginality of poverty, racism, and elitism grows greater every day? We celebrate the accomplishments of people who were given a head start, a buffer for success since birth, and then ostracize others for not achieving their results. In my speech, I'm going to examine the effects of the meritocratic system through three specific mediums of oppression: elitism, racism, and classism. The first medium of meritocratic oppression: racism as a scapegoat for the masses. Within America, we have a meritocracy, of course, but the people that benefit the most are children of pale skin. However, this does not encompass some of the children that are lucky enough to pass through society through a bottleneck system. Although some children of color may achieve greater success than others, this does not undermine the feeling of the peers. As well, we cannot acknowledge that the 400 years of slavery and then another 50 years of Jim Crow, and then the 20 years left to improve within the race relations does not have effect. According to Reggie from the Milwaukee Independent, Black Americans are disadvantaged by the fact that nepotism and classism constrict all opportunities in the community in this country. And what he means by that is that mainly people that had a head start, nepotism, which is a process of hiring people that are within your family, we can't do that for other people. And according to Jean Franzingo Barrett's personal observation is validated by a newly published study in a peer-reviewed journal, Child Development, that finds traditionally marginalized youth who grew up in an American ideal that hard work and perseverance naturally leads to success show a decline in self-esteem and increase in risky behaviors during their middle school years. However, if we examine for their white counterparts, white people were able to advance class status-wise through centuries of oppressing. That is the only way they were able to construct the meritocratic belief. And through transitioning to classism, which is the origin of the meritocracy, it's no secret that America is deeply separated and segregated by statuses. And according to a Yale law professor, Daniel Markovitz, 2 Ivy League schools that Markovitz surveyed, the share of students from households in the top quintile of the income distribution exceeds the share from the bottom 2 quintiles combined by a ratio of 3.5 to 1. Meaning that more kids at Ivy League schools are more privileged and more rich than their other lower class counterparts. And many of those at the top of the society cheat and screw the system in their favor. So how can we believe in meritocracy if people with class status are not construing things for the greater of the society? And it chose an example of the college admission scandal about 2 years ago, in which families who were very, very wealthy construed a plot to get their children to the best colleges they had to offer. And at the same time, a lot of people were talking about meritocracy and how could it exist if people at the top of the elite class were making sure that their children succeeded before other poor children, other disadvantaged children were. And that leads me to my next point of elitism. Elitism is the attitude of the belief of the elite to concentrate and control most of the power in society. Children that are born into this elite class are more likely to pass on such status to their children. The same can be said for the poor. The concentrated power is unattainable. In that many argue for the case of elitism, the strongest and smart people are destined to lead and have everyone's best interests. This subverts the ideas of egalitarianism, pluralism, populism, in which we believe that everyone is equal, that we need more diversity, and that there needs to be more focus on the poor. So, in which meritocracy has left a lot of people behind, left a lot of people undermatched for the way society works. So today I have surveyed the detriments of American meritocratic system through 3 pathways: it takes, racism, elitism, classism. These forms of oppression enforce and enact the mythical meritocracy. In education, as education was known as a great equalizer, these conditions of the past have no longer pertained to the present. Education is a microcosm of the failings of the American meritocratic belief. Those children at the bottom are more likely to stay at the bottom for the entirety of their lives. In order to fix the American dream, we must acknowledge that no one's awarded for their talents. They are awarded for being born into the right family. Meritocracy is like a game of Monopoly, an exploitative and cyclical tale of oppression and unrequited dreams.